This MMA 30 segment is powered by The Gun Store. Next time you're in Las Vegas, if you want to shoot a real machine gun, do it at The Gun Store at 2900 East Tropicana.
I think it's going to definitely go mainstream. I think it's going to be one of the most popular sports in the world. Probably going to take over football, in my opinion. And it's because of this reason right here. There's no division between us and you guys. You can meet us, you can touch us, you can take pictures with us. Have you ever taken a picture with Kobe Bryant or any of the other NBA or any other professional athletes? They're so at another level sometimes they're unreachable. But for us, you can always find us. We'll always take pictures. And I think that's one thing that separates us more than any other professional athletes. And I think that's going to be the attitude that makes this sport grow to this full potential even more.
This right here is like the UFC Fan Expo thing. It's a pretty unique experience. And I mean, as a fan, just like you guys, it's a real honor to be at events like this and be able to come out and meet the fighters. When the sport was very young, I remember seeing actually Forrest and Stephan hanging around the MGM. It was when the first season of The Ultimate Fighter had just debuted. You guys were taking pictures, and I thought, oh, that's so cool. But eventually that's got to change because, I mean, look at all the people that are out here to see you guys. Brendan, are you surprised, even at yourself and your colleagues in the sport, that you guys have remained so open to coming to events like this and interacting with the fans on a one-on-one level?
No, I'm not surprised. I think if you look at the athletes in the UFC, literally none of these guys, they're some of the best guys you're going to meet. So, for me, it's just what I expect. And it's being accessible, like Rashad mentioned, to the fans. The sport's growing so fast because of Fox and other things. That's because of the hard work guys up here do, and Dana White and the rest of the UFC. So anything the UFC does, or as big as it gets, and it's only getting bigger, I'm not surprised.
Stephan, have you ever gotten tired of it? I mean, you've been in this game for a long time now. And how do you make yourself push through those days where you don't feel like signing autographs and shaking hands?
Pushing through signing autographs and shaking hands isn't really a problem. Like fighting dudes twice a day, every day, you got to push yourself to do that. Yeah, sign it, it's like a little break from it,
Wrestling in college was, I guess it was a good groundwork for doing mixed martial arts. And I say that because it's the mentality. In college wrestling, you got to work like a dog. The coaches will give you those practices where it never ended, where you just get done and you think okay guys, we got one more drill, and then after that we're done. And then you do the one more drill and you go as hard as you can. And then he says, okay, we got one more, and you just do that for an hour, and then you just crying and you want to go home. That's what it was like for college wrestling. But and the same mentality it transfers over to mixed martial arts because you got to work like a dog if you're gonna be number one. But as far as just the whole what goes into it, being on a wrestling team, you kind of still get the same fraternity feel with your teammates and stuff like that. But it's a lot different because we older and stuff like that. We do our own thing.
Gotcha. Josh, same question for you. Compare wrestling as opposed to training for mixed martial arts.
Well, I believe that wrestling you got to have a great foundation for wrestling to be in mixed martial arts. For one, you can control where the fight goes, whether you want it to standing or on the mat. With my college wrestling at Edinburgh, we all lived together, so we had a wrestling house, and so it's pretty much Ultimate Fighter for 4 years there.
That's what I was getting at, yeah.
So you have, I remember stabbing one of my friends when we have these pins that you put your clothes on and they wash. These two little 33 and 41 pounder, Justin Wilcox and Corey Ace. I remember those two trying to tag team me, so the only way out is I had to grab this pin and I stabbed both of them. So I've been there.
Wait, you were messing with people even when it wasn't on TV, stabbing them with pens when there was no cameras around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been called meathead since I was probably 10 years old. Serious? Yeah. A common mispronunciation for my last name is Mitrione versus Mitrione. So I've been called meat feet, sweet meat, meat lips, meat stick, meat head, meatball. I've been called every derivative of the word meat possible. And Coach Shot and I we were bouncing around the warm-up room one day, and I was he called my name, and he was saying it funny. I was like, Coach, just call me Meathead, man. That's what everybody calls me at home. When I was in high school, my license plate was Meat 52. That's my football number. I've been Meat forever.
Thank you.
So, but I'll let Coach Shot, if you want to say Coach Shot, you named it to me, guy. You brought me into the world.
I was like Archie Buck. Hey, Meathead!
about that question is I don't get paid to worry about that. I get paid to punch people in the face and try not to get my ass kicked. You know, so really, you know, if I go in there and I stop a mud hole in them, well, cool, then I know where I stand. If I go in there and get this shit beat out of me, then I know where I stand there too. So really, it's not up to me. It's up to Mr. Silva, up to Mr. White, you know, and everybody else that pays, but that signs my check. That's their decision, not mine.
Matt Mitrione fighting Chen Congo at UFC 137, ladies and gentlemen.
Pride rules are fine. Screw you and the yellow card. I mean, the pride rule is just, it's hard to train for stomping people in the head in practice, to be honest. It's hard to train for elbowing people, but I mean, we figure out ways to do that. I don't know. I just really don't want Mitrione practicing stomping on my head in practice. You know, that's not. I don't know.
I like it.
Yeah. No, I fought. You know, a lot of us fought back when those were the rules, and I really liked knees to the head, especially on wrestlers. You can kind of grab them. It's pretty awesome. So, I mean, I'll give it a shot. But the yellow cards, nah.
Josh, what do you think?
I'm down for it, but no yellow cards. We work too hard, man. Don't be trying to take our money.
Matt?
Yeah, I'm absolutely down for the pride rules. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I think, you know, I think the fewer rules you have as far as like striking, I think it makes it better because it makes it more creative. For example, obviously I watch a lot of Chet Congo fights. Heath Herring versus Chet Congo. Heath Herring was in a position to completely smash him in a north-south position. He couldn't, and he was using pride rules. He even lifted up his knee a couple times, getting ready to head strike, and he realized he couldn't do it. So those fights would be totally different now. You know, you can't turtle up and just lay safe because you know you're vulnerable in any spot. As far as yellow cards, I'm down with yellow cards. I like it because I don't really go to the ground that often. So, you know, if you're gonna kind of be stagnant, not really move too much, if not do yellow cards, then I would see hopefully that a stagnated position on the ground gets stood up a little bit faster versus letting it stay around for 20 seconds too long.
Man, I'm different than these cats. I'm against it a little bit. I think going mainstream, that's the last thing I know my mom wants to see is a knee to my face or my head or a head stomp. So I think it's cool now. As far as yellow cards, I'm with Koscheck. We're working hard in there, man, and to take, whatever, 50% or 20% because of a boring fight. So sometimes, yeah, it's objective, and sometimes styles, things happen. Obviously, we never want it to be boring. We try and keep it exciting, but certain styles and certain times in the fight, things happen. So yellow card's not down with it. So I say no to both, and you're violent.
Hey, you know there's a sport called kickboxing, if that's what you're looking for, where they kickbox, and there's no ground.
Stephen, what do you think?
I'm all for soccer kicks and head stomp. The less rules, the better. But and as far as yellow cards go, yeah, you should be penalized for stalling. In wrestling, you get penalized for stalling. As far as the 10% though, no, that's some bullshit.
Cole?
Man, I could talk for about a half an hour about this. Yeah, the few rules better. Allow the stomps, allow the head kicks. Let the guy on bottom, kick a guy in the face that's also on the ground too. Yellow cards, yeah, take away that money. I mean, this sport's all around. It's helping all these wrestlers lay on people or not keep the fight in any one area, and you're going to see a lot more decisions and things like that. Take some money away. People are going to real knock down. Let's go. Let's fight. Let's put the martial arts back in mixed martial arts. It's starting to stand for athlete. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you make that A stand for athlete instead of artist, these guys are just going to be fighting to win, to move up that rung of the ladder. But at the end of the day, we're not here to win, we're here to fight. And people aren't doing that, you know what I'm saying?
This guy was born for this question.
Amir, what do you think?
Yeah, I can't follow that. No, I'm all for the soccer kicks. I've talked about this a lot actually with my friends. I would definitely trade elbows on the ground for kicks to the head. I think it would speed things up. And as far as the yellow card goes, yeah, absolutely. I think when you see some fights and you're just frustrated, it's so boring to watch. I think that there should be some incentive to start doing something violent.
Shad?
I don't think you should do no soccer kicks, and let me tell you why. When you fight somebody, it's a fight for the most part, and you go as hard as you can. But never when I fight somebody, I want to do something that can damage them for the rest of their life. If I soccer kick somebody to the face when they're down, it's a pretty good chance that I might mess them up later on in life. And it's just a fight. I don't want to really maim them or hurt them. I wouldn't Like there's rules that we can do now, like you can foot stomp or you can kick somebody right in the knee, like John Jones is doing a Rampage. But I wouldn't want to do that because I mean you can end somebody's career by doing something like that. So for me, I would like to see my opponents, whoever they may be, is come out safe. Whenever I fight, I always say a prayer for me and I say a prayer for my opponent. At the time, in my mind, I don't care if the referee gives me a yellow card. Because in my mind, I'm thinking like, okay, I'm clinching up for a reason. So he can take half my purse. It don't matter to me at the time because I'm in a fight. I can't really think right now. I'm gonna think about it afterwards. But like if I'm in a fight and he's saying, okay, you need to do this or it's gonna be 10% deducted from your purse, I'm not gonna be like, okay, let me go and swing wild. I'll be still doing the same thing. So I don't think it really thwarts that much. What it does, it just brings the referee a little bit more involved. And I don't think that's a good thing at all, you know, because let's keep the referees out of it as much as possible.
This MMA 30 segment is powered by The Gun Store. Next time you're in Las Vegas, if you want to shoot a real machine gun, do it at The Gun Store at 2900 East Tropicana.